How do you manage 40 years from starting the business to still be so youthful, to still have such a fresh outlook, to embrace social media, to still be working at the pace you are? How do you manage that?
I keep getting asked this question and I wonder why do they ask me that?
Genuinely, because you're looking fantastic, really.
Okay, it's a 2-hour gym workout every morning.
Really? Really? Wow. That's a heavy commitment.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I must be doing something which is right. And thank my parents genetically for.
Okay. Just good genes.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just good genes, right? And what about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You're starting your 5th series of that.
Yes, absolutely, and contracted for 2 more. It's been one of the most exciting experiences that I've had. Everyone, when I was considering going to television, advised me that you're making the biggest mistake of your life. Indeed, it turned out to be one of my best mistakes.
Yes.
It's a fascinating world, and it's away from a scripted, technically worked out format, as in cinema. Somebody else's lines, somebody else's designing of your clothes, where you will stand, where you will walk, what you will say. This is just by yourself, ad-libbing, no script.
It's great fun.
And it's great fun.
Yeah.
Allows you to be yourself, and allows you to sit across a computer with a contestant and to know about his life and the way he reacts to his earnings, and what his circumstances are and where he comes from. And it was just a brilliant experience. And the last series that we did touched some of the contestants who came in from the B and C centers of India, who were very poor. Many of the cities were absolutely unknown to me, where they came from.
Right.
And we had a lady, a Muslim lady, who came from Giridih, which is a very, very small little town, lived almost in the Parda system, hardly ever was allowed to move out of the house, did her own education or whatever it is by stitching clothes inside her home, came across the registration for Konbanega Crorepati, which is the equivalent of millionaire, on her own. Her husband was working in another town. She called him and said, I wish to apply for this. He said, well, if you're, feeling good about it, do so. Did it, got the registration right, stepped out of the town for the first time, sat on an airplane for the very first time in her life, came to the city of Mumbai for the first time, got on to Millionaire and won $1 million.
You're kidding me. Wow.
It's just
bravo, that. What a lovely story.
It is amazing.
And then she's sitting opposite you the whole time. If the whole situation wasn't nerve-wracking enough for her,
And the most remarkable thing was when I asked, how did you do it? She said, I knew that I was going to do it someday. And it's just
really
absolutely fantastic. So these are the kind of people that are getting encouraged to come on, and we feel really nice when you see people like this coming out. Absolutely. There are people who come up and say, I want my village to be named after me if I win a lot of money. And I want to contribute this money to bring in water and irrigation for my fields because my father is a farmer. I want to pay back my teacher who taught me and who educated me up to the primary school level, because after that I couldn't afford to go to university. And I want to disprove my entire village who were against my father for educating me. And they said, you're wasting your time educating your son. Get him out to the fields, give him a plow, let him plow the fields because that's all he's capable of doing. And he said, I just want to go and defy this by winning something here. And that guy won, $250,000 worth, 25-30 lakh rupees. And, this is the kind of incentive that the program has introduced into the system. So I feel very delighted with it. And somebody goes back winning a large amount of money.
Yeah, no, it transcends just being a television show, really.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about your father. He's a very well-known and respected poet. How did he feel about you saying you wanted to become an actor?
There was never any opposition from my parents. I know that I grew up during a time when cinema was in India was almost considered a non-entity, and it was almost infra-dig to even talk about it. My parents, whenever we wanted to go to the cinema, would wet a film by going and seeing it before us.
Really?
And then approving it for us to go and see it. That's how bad it was, how good it was in their sense. But look where we've landed up now in the last 50, 60 years. We're all over the world now, and it's no longer considered an entity which is being looked down upon. It's a very important aspect in the growth, in the development of the country. Entertainment is going to be one of the three major development projects in the growth of the country, and cinema is the base.
Key to that. Yeah. Absolutely. Now your son is an actor also. My father's an actor here. It's been really lovely for me to work with him over the last few years. Do you enjoy working with your son?
Absolutely, yes. It's a great feeling. We have actually 4 of them in the house. My wife, my daughter-in-law, and my son.
4 actors, yes, one house.
So every morning
nightmare.
We pick up our makeup boxes every morning and drive off in different directions.
And obviously, having been through a lot of the stuff I'm going through now, Dad, it's always great that I can go to Dad and get a bit of advice from him, and he can tell me this is how to handle the situation.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the benefits. We keep exchanging ideas and thoughts, and do you think I should do this film? And he will say, nah, I think it's not suitable.
Right, so it's a two-way street.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Right?
And what about your daughter-in-law? She's also an actress.
Yes.
And I'm assuming then there may be some little actors coming through. Right. Okay. And will you encourage them to go into the family business?
Well, that's up to Abhishek and Ashwarya. I'm sure that we've never had any objection to that.
Okay. And how do you, as a family of 4 actors and of such kind of high standing, how do you find time just to pull back a little bit and have some family time and quiet time?
That's an issue.
Right.
We're all very busy, but thanks to modern technology, vlog, everything, we keep connected. My son is shooting a film in Russia. My daughter-in-law was at the Cannes Film Festival. She's now joined him. My wife is at the moment in Europe, not filming, just on holiday. So we'll all get together some point in time.
Somewhere.
And meet up and...
turn the phones off for a minute.
Yeah.
Right. And tell me about your photography. You're a keen photographer?
Not really. I pretend to be one.
Okay.
And you always feel a little left out if you aren't with the latest camera that has come out.
Okay.
So you buy just to impress other people, but not always with the talent of photography.
Right.
But yeah, you take the odd photograph and put it up on the blog, and have some very nice people from the blog saying, "My gosh, you can photograph." Feels good.
Okay, good. And I just wanted to ask you before we finish, on the set of Kubi, you were injured badly. As far as I understand it, that pretty much the whole nation came to a standstill. How did that must have been quite a comforting kind of feeling?
Well, most of the time I was in a coma. So,
right, okay. Subconsciously. As I said that, I was like, oh Christ, that's not the right question. Yeah.
So I hardly knew what was going on. But yes, when I did survive, I knew that there were people who watched my films, but I never realized that the degree of devotion and affection that they had for me, and it was just incredible. It's a burden for me. I think it's a debt that I will carry. Their prayers and their love during the time I was ill. There were moments during that period when I was actually clinically dead and survived. And everyone feels that it was purely luck and the prayers. Of course, the medical profession did a fantastic job, but it was the prayers of the fans and the people who made me
pull through.
Yeah, pull through.
Mr. Bachchan, absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you.